Have you ever wondered why certain women leave an indelible mark on a man's soul, while others, despite their beauty or effort, seem to vanish from memory? It's not about appearance. It's not about charm. There is a deeper force at play, a profound feminine energy that most never awaken. This energy speaks in symbols, not in words. It touches the unconscious, not the surface. It's an ancient magnetic essence that stirs something deep within a man, something he cannot explain, only feel. Carl Jung believed that true connection between two souls is never just emotional or physical. It is the collision of archetypes, the awakening of ancient forces that reside beneath our awareness. When a woman unconsciously embodies this archetype, she becomes more than a person. She becomes a symbol, a mirror, a mystery. Men don't become obsessed with you. They become obsessed with the feeling you awaken, the sense of familiarity laced with the unknown. You are soft and elusive, tender and untouchable, present yet unreachable. You are the paradox that haunts him. You are not simply a woman. You are a spiritual storm that tears through the walls of his psyche. In this video, I'll reveal the 7 secret layers of feminine energy that can trigger this kind of deep, primal obsession. Not by seduction, but by presence. Not by performance, but by essence. Some of these layers may shock you because you've lived with them all your life without knowing the power they carry. Stay with me until the end, because the final layer won't just change how men see you, it may forever change how you see yourself. Layer 1. The anima and the awakening of primal emotion. Inside every man lives an image of the eternal feminine, a woman he has never met, but whom he's been seeking all his life. She is not real, not in the conventional sense. She comes from myth, from dreams, from the deep wells of the unconscious. Carl Jung called her the anima, the inner feminine that shapes a man's emotional world and governs his longing for connection. This inner woman is not his mother, his ex, or the woman next door. She is an ancient archetype, a fusion of emotional memory, intuitive images, and sacred mystery, softness, spiritual depth, radiance. Silence. He does not see her, he feels her. And when a real woman enters his life who unknowingly activates this hidden blueprint, something ancient stirs, something irrational, irresistible. He doesn't know why. He only knows he must be near her. It's not love, not lust. It's something beyond language, a spiritual gravity that bends his world around her. This is the moment when obsession is born. Because she is no longer just a woman to him, she has become a symbol of everything he's ever needed, but could never name. And because of this, he does not merely love her, he craves her, as though she holds the missing pieces of his own soul. The anima often reveals herself through women who carry emotional depth, spiritual fluidity, and a magnetic unpredictability. They are not always soft, nor always fierce. They shift like water. At times she is still serene as a quiet lake. Then, with the slightest breeze, her surface ripples, revealing flashes of depth and light. One moment she is tenderness, the next she is intensity. She is not unpredictable because she hides, she is unpredictable because she lives authentically within the full spectrum of her being. Like water, she becomes mist, ice, storm, or rain. She is every version of herself, and none of them are false. She allows herself to feel, to weep, to burn, to rise. She doesn't chase love because she is already in deep relationship with her own soul. Her world is so rich, so vast, that men are drawn in not to own it, but to witness it. Carl Jung warned that if a man does not understand the anima within, he is at risk of obsession, of disillusionment, of falling in love with a projection rather than the woman before him. He thinks he is in love with her, but what he truly desires is the reflection of his own soul that she unknowingly awakens. This is why some relationships burn with intensity, but collapse in pain, because the woman is not being seen, only symbolized. And here's the paradox. A woman cannot awaken the anima by trying. She does it by being, not conforming, not pleasing, not suppressing. She ignites this archetype through wholeness, through her contradictions, her wildness, her sacred emotional chaos. So the question becomes, how can a woman awaken the anima without ever hearing the word? How does she stir a man's soul? Without strategy, without manipulation? The answer lies in what I call the 7 feminine secret, synergetic truths that bypass logic and touch the unconscious. Truths that don't require effort, only presence. Before we begin, thank you for choosing this space among so many. Your presence means everything in this mission to bring Carl Jung's forgotten wisdom to the world. Please take a moment to like, share, or comment below. I'm ready to embark on this journey. Together, we dive deeper. Secret #1. The power of emotional contrast. Here's a truth rarely spoken. Men are not addicted to the woman. They are addicted to how she makes them feel. And those feelings, those sparks that create obsession, don't come from beauty, politeness, or compliance. They come from emotional movement. A man is not captivated by someone who is always sweet, always kind, always nice. He is captivated by a woman who makes him feel alive. This is emotional contrast, a psychological phenomenon more powerful than seduction. It's not a game, it's not a trick. It's how your presence rises, falls, dances, and disappears like a melody. It's the way you make him laugh, then fall silent, leaving mystery in your wake. The way your gaze shifts from playful to profound. The way you can be soft and strong within the same breath. Carl Jung once said, "The meeting of 2 personalities is like the contact of 2 chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed." But there is no transformation without emotional charge, no fire without friction. Emotional contrast is that jolt. A woman who lives in her full spectrum without apology is unforgettable, not because she performs emotions, but because she embodies them. The woman who dares to live as thunder and rain, as stillness and fire. She is not a puzzle to be solved. She is a mystery to be felt, and that mystery becomes the first portal to obsession, to transformation, to something far deeper than love. Psychological research confirms what mystics and poets have always known. It is contrast, not consistency, that awakens the deepest emotions. Moments of surprise, shifts in tone, unexpected glimpses into the soul. These are the sparks that trigger dopamine, the brain's chemical of desire, curiosity, and attachment. When a man experiences a moment of "she's not what I expected," something profound happens. His attraction deepens, not because she is always pleasant, but because she is never predictable. This is the same mechanism that hooks people on games, stories, or relationships. Not comfort, but the unfolding mystery. Not repetition, but the invitation to explore. Imagine this. A woman laughs playfully, teasing with ease. Everyone smiles, the room is light. But then, a deeper subject arises. Her eyes soften, her voice lowers, and she speaks from the depths, revealing wisdom, tenderness, truth. In that moment, something in the man moves, not his mind, his soul. He is caught off guard, not by drama, but by depth. He begins to feel not just attraction, but wonder. The anima within him stirs. Psychologically, this causes empathy, focused attention, and even a subtle disorientation. Suddenly, he is no longer in control. She is no longer just a woman. She is an experience, a journey, a mirror, a woman who dares to live with emotional authenticity in a world obsessed with performance becomes dangerous, not because she harms, but because she cannot be programmed. She is not erratic, but she is free. She doesn't offer a rehearsed script. She offers a living, breathing soul. And he can no longer predict how he will feel around her. He becomes vulnerable, exposed, and alive. Psychological studies show that people remember experiences with high emotional amplitude. They forget monotony. So, if you are only sweet, he will find you agreeable. But if you make him laugh, then pause in silence. If you touch his mind, then vanish into your own mystery. If you stir longing, then offer sacred stillness. You become an emotional anchor in his psyche, a place he returns to in thought, long after you're gone. Even the most logical, self-contained man cannot resist this pull. Because he is no longer reacting with reason, he is being drawn by something ancient and unconscious. But let's be clear, emotional contrast is not chaos. It is not moodiness or manipulation. It is the symphony of opposites flowing through a woman who knows herself. Carl Jung taught that the human psyche is a tapestry of dualities, light and shadow, masculine and feminine, conscious and unconscious. When a woman allows herself to embody all of her emotional layers, without judgment, without apology, she becomes a mirror in which a man sees not only her, but himself. She is not merely attractive. She becomes a catalyst for his own integration. In a world of fast gratification and predictable patterns, a woman who feels like a novel, with depth, beauty, and unexpected turns, becomes unforgettable. He keeps reading, afraid to close the book and miss the ending. And here's the secret. Emotional contrast cannot be taught through tips or tactics. It is not something you do, it is something that happens naturally when you are deeply connected to your own emotional world. When you're not afraid of your anger, your sorrow, your joy, your sensuality. When you realize you can be both moonlight and wildfire, a storm and a still lake, then you no longer merely attract, you awaken. Secret #2. Emotional self-mastery. If emotional contrast draws him in, it is emotional self-mastery that makes him unable to forget you. Because a woman may stir his soul through movement, but she anchors herself in his psyche when she reveals that she is whole with or without him. Carl Jung once said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." A truly magnetic woman is not made whole by love. She is not waiting to be chosen to feel worthy. She is not seeking to be completed. She already is complete. She walks through the world with the quiet power of someone who knows herself deeply. She allows love in, but it does not define her. She gives fully, but never from emptiness. Her joy is real. Her pain is sacred. Her solitude is not loneliness, but connection with her own soul, and that is what makes her unforgettable. She does not stand waiting for rescue. She does not crumble when no one calls. She nourishes herself, mind, body, and soul, every single day. In modern psychology, this inner strength is known as emotional self-regulation, the ability to manage your emotional state without relying on external validation. It is one of the rarest forms of mental mastery in today's hyper-connected world. We've grown too used to seeking our reflection in phones, in hearts that don't belong to us, in fleeting compliments and blue-hinted message bubbles. Many women unknowingly make relationships the center of their existence, so that one missed call, one silent hour, one absent "I love you" causes their entire emotional world to collapse. But a woman with emotional self-mastery is different. She still feels, she still longs, she still loves deeply, but none of these emotions knock her off center. She wakes at dawn and keeps her promises to herself. She goes to the gym. She completes her work. She learns, grows, connects, with or without him. She finds joy in books, friendships, passions, stillness. Her life is already full, and that fullness is magnetic. This is what draws men to her, not her need but her wholeness. Carl Jung understood this through the process of individuation, the journey of becoming one's true self. He believed that only by shedding imposed roles and expectations, only by exploring your authentic inner world, Can you ever know true psychological freedom? A woman who enters love before knowing who she is, what she values, fears, and desires risks vanishing inside the identity of the man she loves. Every glance, every silence, every word becomes a trigger. Her center lives in his hands rather than within her own soul. But a woman who has individuated, who knows her soul and stands in it, does not offer her heart as collateral for approval. She does not beg to be seen or plead to be chosen. She chooses to love, she chooses to stay, and she chooses to walk away if necessary. She can cry, but she will never collapse. She can grieve, but she will never be destroyed. Her foundation was never external to begin with. And men, especially those who seek depth, feel this. They may not understand it, but they are drawn to it with every fiber of their being, because in behavioral psychology, one principle holds true: we value what is rare. We cherish what is hard to possess. A woman who jumps at every message, cancels her life to meet him, and gives endlessly without boundaries is not respected. She is used. But a woman who replies, "I'm busy today, but I'd love to see you this weekend," radiates self-worth. That response is not cold, it's centered. It tells him, "My world exists, with or without you." And that is unforgettable. Emotional self-mastery is more than attractive. It is protective. It shields you from half-loves, unworthy suitors, and the slow erosion of your spirit. It grants you the strength to say no, to walk away, to demand more, to wait for a love that sees the real you. It is not bitterness. It is sacred clarity. And once a woman stands rooted in this self-possession, a question arises. What makes a man not only respect her, but crave to know her deeper, even as the initial spark fades? The answer lies not in beauty or charm, but in something far more enduring: mystery. Secret #3. Mystery and the allure of space. We're not speaking of mystery as a tactic, not playing aloof or delaying replies to appear desirable. No, true mystery cannot be manufactured. It is not a performance. It is a presence, a silence that speaks more than words. Carl Jung called this the phenomenon of projection when we do not fully know another. Our mind fills in the gaps with imagination, hope, and symbolism. This is why some men find themselves haunted by a woman they barely know. She wasn't the most beautiful. She didn't say anything extraordinary, but I can't stop thinking about her. Why? Because she left space. She did not hand over her entire soul in the first conversation. She didn't flood every silence with explanation. She allowed room for wonder, for the unknown, and in that space, his unconscious filled in the blanks with fragments of his own soul. She became not just her, but a symbol, an archetype, a myth he longed to explore. In behavioral psychology, this is called the Zeigarnik effect, the tendency to remember incomplete or unresolved experiences far more than completed ones. When a woman reveals everything too soon, her history, her thoughts, her beliefs, there is nothing left to uncover, no mystery to unfold, and without mystery, curiosity dies, and when curiosity dies, desire follows. But a woman who reserves the sacred parts of herself, not out of manipulation, but reverence, invites deeper connection, not quicker intimacy. Take a simple example. He asks about your past relationships. You smile and say, "That's a part of me I only share when I feel deeply safe and seen." He doesn't forget that. You haven't hidden anything. You've guarded it, and in doing so, you've made him want to earn the right to know more. This is the difference between being open and being unfolding, between being an open book and being a sacred text with layers. You don't need to hide, but you also don't need to offer everything. Let your mystery breathe. Let the silence deepen, because men don't fall in love with your biography. They fall in love with your presence, the way you made them feel something they didn't expect. Jung knew this well. Mystery is not something to be solved. It is something to be explored. So be the woman who reveals herself like a journey, not a destination to arrive at, but a landscape to discover. One moment, one emotion, one layer at a time. They need to know you have depth, undiscovered, untouched, not as a strategy, not as seduction, but as sacred truth. A truly mysterious woman doesn't withhold her soul to be chased. She doesn't stay silent so others lean closer. She simply understands this. Not every connection has earned the right to meet my depths. This isn't manipulation. It's discernment. She does not perform mystery. She lives with reverence for her own inner world, and that quiet protection of her essence is the greatest invitation. A mature man feels it and whispers within, if she ever chooses to show me more, it will be a gift. Those who seek convenience will leave, and they should, because not everyone deserves to swim in the deep waters of your soul. Secret #4, finding joy in yourself. Even mystery fades if there is no true light inside you. So what keeps a man not just interested, but inspired to stay, to reach deeper, to truly see you? It's when he senses something profound. You don't need him to make life magical. You are already dancing in your own universe. And if he's lucky, you might just invite him in. There is a paradox in attraction that few understand. The more you chase, the more you lose. The less you try to captivate, the more captivating you become. Carl Jung once said, "The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely." And yet, when a woman finally does, when she no longer needs others to confirm she is beautiful, desirable, or interesting, she radiates something so rare, so effortless, it cannot be manufactured, the joy of her own being. Self-amusement is not cold detachment. It is not a proud declaration of "I don't need anyone." It is the quiet, private exhilaration of being truly alive, even when no one is watching. It's humming a song while cooking dinner for one. It's laughing aloud at a memory from years ago. It's wandering the city without needing to post it, because the moment itself is enough. A woman who knows how to make herself happy emits a kind of gravity. She doesn't cling. She doesn't seek to possess. She doesn't wait in emotional limbo for validation. She has already chosen herself. When he arrives, she welcomes him. When he leaves, she keeps the music playing. A book, a sunset, a walk beneath city lights. She continues joyfully. This is the energy men feel but cannot name. The energy of someone who lives for real, not for attention. Social psychology has shown that people are drawn to those who carry a relaxed, vibrant energy, an effortless glow, unburdened by control, yet brimming with inner life. Self-amusement is that glow, the freedom to feel joy for your own sake. And ironically, when you stop trying to be entertaining, that's when people laugh the most in your presence. Jung once wrote, "Nothing has a greater psychological impact on a child than the unlived life of the parent." But this truth applies to love as well. Nothing inspires a man more than a woman who lives fully, without apology. Yes, he may admire your beauty, but he becomes enchanted by how you live, by the way you giggle at silly videos, the way you dance in the kitchen, awkward and free. The way you talk about your day with passion, about the little things that moved you. They may not matter to the world, but they matter to you, and that is what makes them beautiful. Self-amusement doesn't require a perfect life. It requires permission, permission to fail without shame, to rest without guilt, to enjoy without needing an audience. Such a woman doesn't complicate conversations. She simply speaks about what makes her eyes shine, and it is that shine, not the story, that captures him. And most importantly, self-amusement protects your soul, because when he walks away, you don't lose your essence. You may ache, you may cry, but you'll still go to work the next day, still buy yourself flowers, still smile at the blue sky above you. Your continuity, your self-sourced happiness makes you unstoppable. Secret #5. Being fully present in every moment, even the most radiant self. self-driven joy cannot reach another if you remain hidden inside your own world. So here's the deeper question. When you are with someone, are you truly there, not just in body, not just in polite words, but in presence, in listening, in aliveness? There is a rare kind of magic in a woman who can be fully present. Not checking her phone, not mentally multitasking, but offering her full attention like a sacred gift. When she looks at you, you feel seen. When she listens, you feel heard. And in her energy, you find space to be your true self. This is the kind of presence that keeps a man coming back, not because she entertains, but because he feels alive in her presence. And this feeling, being seen and felt and mirrored, is one of the deepest psychological needs of the human soul. Yet in today's world, it is desperately rare. Carl Jung believed that true self-development is not merely about introspection, but about becoming fully rooted in reality, in now, in life as it unfolds. In the moment that breathes before you, so yes, learn to laugh alone, but also learn to laugh with, to be fully with another, eyes, heart, soul, without distraction, without pretense. This kind of woman is unforgettable. Not because she's perfect, but because she's here, and in a world full of noise, that presence is louder than words. It's not about drifting through a conversation, checking your phone every 5 minutes, or listening only to interrupt and shift the spotlight.